Okay, this is the second video in the series of this 790 series Kenmore, also same as many Frigidaire ovens, electric ovens, and the symptom is the lower element is not heating up, so that it will come up to temperature, but it won't hold it on bake mode because it uses all the elements to heat up initially, but then only the bake lower element to keep the temperature. So that's not working. I'm going to have to pull it out to see if I can figure out what's wrong with it. So I'll start that process. Okay, the first step to get it out is to remove the two screws in the upper frame here. It'll be easy enough to reach with just a regular Phillips head screwdriver. And to make this a lot lighter, I'm going to take the door off, which just requires popping these latch down, and there's one on the other side, which I just pop down in the same position. Close the door to the point where it hits, and then just lift it up and off. And with those two screws out and the door off, it's a relatively easy thing to just slide the whole unit out. Being careful not to catch anything that's behind there. There's a couple little rollers that are kind of in the way, and I'll have to put it on something to support it a little bit higher, just to keep it off the ground. And the reason I'm going to use something under here is just because I don't want to bend this fragile piece of trim here, which will be supporting weight if I just drop this thing on the ground. So this will bridge across the frame rails and protect that. Nothing much to worry about in the back, but I am going to slide a piece of lumber under there, just so it's not sitting on the ground directly, and that should work just fine. This is one of the reasons I think it's worthwhile to troubleshoot this instead of replacing it. This is not a cheap unit. Nicely labeled box. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and open up both the top and the back panels. Just a number of Phillips head screws all the way around both panels. Just a matter of zipping them out, and right now, the first obvious thing to check is the three elements, because elements do burn out. That's a common failure. This is the connector for the upper element. This is for the rear element for the convection, and this is a different kind of connector that's got a two-prong connector. The trick here is disconnect all of the. You only have to do one side to do the resistance. So I'm going to pull one side off of each of these elements, and I'm going to check the resistance of each of these. Now it should take it a while to auto range here, but 14, so that's exactly where I would expect it. It'd probably 12 to 25 ohms per element. So the upper broil element is good. We knew that since we tested it. The rear element, the convection element, 28.5. Higher resistance means lower wattage, which doesn't surprise me. That would be typical for one of these. And then the lower element is this kind of strange two-prong plug here, and overload. That means it's an open circuit. That means there's no continuity. That means I've got a bad element. So we've found the problem with this unit. Now all we have to do is replace it. And if it hadn't been the element, it would almost certainly have been one of these relays. These three relays are the ones that control each of those elements. And you can see orange, yellow, blue, which corresponds down here to orange, yellow, and blue on the elements here. And so basically one of those three relays would have been bad. When the relays go bad, they very often do burn up the PC board, so that has to be cleaned up. This will probably be the relay that controls all three. So basically it's a good news thing that we do not have to take this board out and start working on it or try to source the parts for it. So we just have to get the lower bake element replaced. One more part of the troubleshooting process that I wanted to mention is you really do want to check if what I just showed you doesn't pan out. You want to make sure you do have a good solid 220, 240 volts coming in across this and this terminal. I'm sure we do because of the fact the other elements were working, but very often if you have a dual breaker and one of them's a little flaky, you'll only get 110 volts total across the whole circuit. It looks fine on the control panel. You won't notice you got a low voltage problem, but it will take it forever to heat up. So be aware of that. And one more thing, if the entire unit is out, this is the thermal breaker that can pop. If for whatever reason it's drawn too much current, gotten too hot, that will pop, but it will also shut down the whole oven. So I knew that wasn't the issue, but I just wanted to show you.